in front of you personally because Zoom tends to make me look a little bloated. But I'm going to pursue my way through and enjoy the speech all to myself. Here's the key. The key was I learned about laughter from my mom. My mom was an amazing woman. And at that time, she was a waitress. And at that time, you can only imagine that the kind of tips that were available probably put her into a rather lower income type of generated income that she produced. But with her laughter created so much love that people would come back just to have the experience of my mom. She would tell them jokes that were just unbelievable. And I can recall that when I started at an age, which was rather young, like 14 years old, to start to work with my mom, I would be a dishwasher. And being a dishwasher in a restaurant was always a very interesting point of view to have as a child's perspective at 14 years old. But I do have to make a little disclaimer here that the speech that I'm about to do might involve certain humors from certain kinds of voices that are in my head. And these are the voices that I grew up with my entire life. The voices that I accumulated from childhood all the way through my years. And where these voices came from were the diversity of my parents. They had all kinds of cultural friends, all kinds of ethnicities, races. And it was just an amazing plateau to kind of like follow through with my life, being introduced to all these different kinds of people. And what really stuck in my mind was the ability to, the humor that I actually absorbed myself from listening to these people speak. And so with that, I'll start off into my childhood and I'll guide you through a journey that takes you to my adulthood. So imagine as a child, I realized that if I wanted to get the right attention that I wanted, I had to be a little bit cuter than normal because I had a sister to compete with. And with that competition came my ability to harness the humor that my mother so amazingly allowed to flow freely. As a child, I would spend so much time just observing people, their actions, how they performed. So I'd find myself in my earlier years as a child kind of mimicking what I would hear and enjoying what I got to do. When I moved into my adult years, or not my adult years, my teenage years, is when I really started to put these new ways of using the voices that were accumulating in my mind to use with the people that I would meet. Now, when I was younger, I would go through trials and tribulations as a child where there was bullying going on, or there was areas of space where people were just a little bit rougher in my age or my group or where I grew up from. So I would use humor to kind of diffuse things, and I would have affirmations to myself that today I'm not going to get beat up. I'm going to make myself a very known, well-loved person, and it kind of carried me through the years. So I would go in the school, and my mom and dad would have the kind of friends over. Like we had a lot of gay friends, and my mom and dad, we would go there, and they were very flamboyant. And I would be, and then afterwards I would leave, and later on down the line, I would share with my mom. I would be like, "So, Mom, this is the kind of day that I'm having," and I would share with her the way that things would roll, and that I would have to shift my whole entire schedule because I wasn't feeling comfortable. But I would remember my very first time I used the voice was a baby's voice, and that was with my sister in the pool, and it would be like, "So, Lori, where do you want to go today? I want to have fun with you. Let's play in the pool and go meet Sally." And onward I would go. I would accumulate all my different voices and really enjoy myself moving forward and make a lot of friends along the way. As a teenager, it was those rougher years, but it was the kind of years that I made my way through with love and laughter. with my teachers, my friends, and everybody else that I could enjoy time with. Also, when I would be an adult, I would use these calls to kind of bring humor to people that needed it in their lives. So it would be a kind of a place where I would call up a father-in-law and I would act like I was a doctor's office, and I would call him up and say, "Hello, doctor. This is Mr. Irving. This is me, Dr. Hammond, calling you. And I want to make sure you want to come in for your appointment for your doctor's eye visit." And he would say, "I don't have a doctor's eye visit." And I would lead him on long enough for him to realize that, "Oh, Mark, is this you again?" So I would share these kind of times and moments with people. And I really got to achieve kind of a reputation with my family and friends that this is the way that I was going to be showing up in life. But it gave me such pleasure to bring laughter to people along my journey so far. Then I grew up to be an adult, and I got married to my beautiful wife that I acknowledge so much for allowing me to join this club, because she's an amazing, and you know, I had to wait till she stepped down from presidency in order for me to feel like, you know, I didn't want to embarrass her, because I feel a lot sometimes. And with that, she understood that it was all okay. And now here I am, you know, joined Toastmasters in order to really find new friends, because I'm in lockdown for so long, and I'm really enjoying the fact that I've got all you people to hold me as my attention. I love my wife because she was one that created most of the lines on her face. She called me that, you know, those are love lines, laughter lines from me. And I've had 37 years to really embed those. So I'm really grateful for the fact that I'm here tonight with you and starting my journey. And I look forward to spending time with you. Thank you very much, Toastmasters.
Yay, honey.
Thank you, Mark Kessler, for all of those voices that you shared with us throughout your childhood, throughout your life. We look forward to the way that they're going to color your speeches to come. Next, I would like to call on Toastmaster Summer Matthews to provide the speech, the project title, and speech details for Keon Green.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shay. The purpose of the project is for the member to practice using a story within a speech, or giving a speech that is a story. The speech is 5 to 7 minutes, and the speech title is Dynamic Leadership. Connect with the storytelling. Thank you.
Timer, please display the timing signals for this upcoming speech.
Certainly, Toastmaster. I will show green at 5 minutes, yellow at 6 minutes, red at 7 minutes, and I'll clap the speaker off at 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Thank you.
Now I have the honor to introduce Keon, whose speech title is called Blessing Disguise. Keon will share stories of how her downs and ups and what she's learned from them. Welcome, Keon.
Is there a lucky soul in this virtual room whose life has been a one smooth sailing? Anybody? Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and very welcome guest. In fact, I should have said, is there one unlucky soul? Because really, without the challenges and difficulties in life, how could we grow to be a better person? We all know this. And just like all of you, my life has been a lot of downs and ups, and downs and ups. But two events really stood out And I'm going to share these two events with you, and for which I am really grateful that the events happened. The first event that I want to share happened 9 years ago. I was in Washington, D.C. in a small training, not many of us, maybe 12 altogether. And we were discussing about the importance of training in interpreters to be good interpreters. And my trainer just all of a sudden, think table topics, all of a sudden turned to me and said, Hyun, how are you going to convince your supervisor that he or she should spend X amount of budget to train people like you? I said, you know, I'm going to tell, but needless to say, I could not complete my sentence, much less giving a good answer. I felt humiliated. I felt really dumb. And that feeling was self-inflicted. Actually, nobody reprimanded me. Nobody blamed me. But going home, flight home to West Palm Beach, I felt determined that I was going to do something. I was going to turn this around. Guess what I did? I joined Toastmasters Club. Not only one, two. 2 in a week. And I gave 2 different speeches. I did not recycle the speech, 2 different speeches just about every week. The second incident happened 2 years ago. It still hurts. It still hurts to share with you. Although I know deep in my heart, it was definitely a defining moment when it comes to blessing in disguise. I had a fantastic interpretation assignment in Washington, D.C. It was a 1.5 day meeting. All day I interpreted for a very important Korean person who came with a big entourage. And I interpreted for the American counterpart. It was a very important meeting. The second day was a half day. After the morning meeting, we all went to a restaurant for a casual lunch. To keep the conversation going, I asked a question to the Korean VIP about certain Mr. Kim. So he answered my question. We had nice lunch. I came back to West Palm Beach. About 2 weeks later, my supervisor came to see me. I said, great, you are going to give me a hooray. You are going to give me an affirmation for the stellar job I have done. On the contrary, he said, Hyun, my heart sank when I saw the evaluation that I received from the Korean VIPs. They said that they did not want you to come to interpret ever. I said, why? I did a great job. My supervisor said, the question I asked at the lunch table was such an offense to the VIP that they just did not want to see me at all. They thought I was rude. I was out of my place to have asked that question. The question was, what happened to Mr. Kim, the Korean man, who went to Turkey and crossed the border to join the ISIS in Syria? That was the question. Effectively, my door to becoming a good, famous interpreter has been shut. I talked with my mentor about my career, my going forward. My mentor said, Hyun, what are you good at? I got to think. I've been training for 9 years as a Toastmaster to be able to give presentations, to be able to go meet with people. to represent my company. My mentor said, that's it, pursue that, which I am doing. And fellow Toastmasters and guests, that moment, the one that still hurts me to talk about, has been such a blessing in disguise. And I am so happy that happened. And I am so happy that I am getting all kinds of opportunities to go and meet the people and talk about what I do with confidence. And I'm getting better. And I will try to get better every day. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Hyun, for sharing such a humbling and transparent story of your journey. Often we like to share our highlights, but it's really our lessons, like you said, our blessings in disguise where we learn the most oftentimes. So thank you for being open with us in that way. We can definitely draw inspiration from it. I would like a brief timers report for our two speeches.
Yes, both speakers, actually one speaker was within time, but for the icebreaker, we were a tad over.
Okay, thank you, timer. The second section of our meeting is table topics. This is an opportunity for members and guests to develop their extemporaneous speaking skills. This is our impromptu section. Guests are encouraged to participate. Are there our guests tonight who, I'd like to know who is willing to participate. So we have James. James is willing. Donna, how about you? You're muted. I can't hear you.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. I'm just going to listen in tonight, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Yeah, this is very new to me.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
No problem. Just also letting you know that you do get an opportunity to hear other speakers before you go. So, but if you're just hearing, that's fine.
Okay.
And we have Rebecca. Would you like to participate as well? Yes. You're muted, but I think you're saying yes.
I just want to be a listener today.
Okay.
I'm a little shy.
Well, we miss your voice and your energy. Okay, and then we have Sophia. Oh, if you'd like to, Sophia, your daughter. Was she?
Janera, yes, maybe.
Janera, would you like to participate? She says yes. What a brave soul. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so we have Janera, James, and Janera and James as our guests participating for today. I'd like to call on our table topics master, Sujana.
Toastmaster of the day. The topic master gives members who are not assigned a significant speaking role the opportunity to speak during the meeting. I challenge each member with a subject, and they respond with a 1 to 2 minute impromptu talk. Please pay attention to the time signals and utilize as much of these 2 minutes as you can. Our timer will demonstrate the timing signals now. Our timer today
Yes. For icebreakers, I'll show the green background at 1 minute, the yellow background at 1 minute and 30 seconds, and the red background at 2 minutes. Thank you, Topics Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sonia. So speech time frame is 1 to 2 minutes. The topic will be repeated 2 times. It's time to get super present and focus now, as I will be calling on you after I have stated the topic. So in my hand, I have a stack of letters, since our team is letter to another me. So each time I'm gonna open a letter and I will be reading a sentence. And I would like the topic master who has been called on to finish that sentence or that thought. Are you all ready? Okay. So first Toastmaster for tonight, Gary Newper. So my first letter has, I am remarkable because. I am remarkable because. Toastmaster Gary.
Thank you, Toastmaster Susanna. I am remarkable because of the way that God has made me uniquely special. Each one of us has been made individually and perfectly, just the way that God wanted us to be. I think when we look around and see each other and share life with each other, I think sometimes we can get distracted by what's going on around us. But then it's important to look back. And as I said earlier, in terms of being grateful, there's so much to be grateful for. And each of us is so special and so unique that we just need to work on affirming that within ourselves and understanding how special we are. And that it's not how much money you have, what you do, what you sound like, we all have so much to offer the world. And I'm so grateful to be part of such an amazing Toastmasters group where we get to share these times together. Even though we're all stuck at home, at least we, as Mark said, we have some friends and some family to enjoy these special opportunities with. Thank you, Toastmaster Susanna.
Susanna, your sound is not coming through.
Oh, I was on mute, sorry. Thank you, Toastmaster Gary, that was wonderful. I have picked up letter number 2. Let me pick up a sentence or a thought from this letter. I smile when I smile when I would like to call upon Toastmaster Jack Miller.
Thank you, Topic Master Susanna. I smile when I see a pretty woman, a pretty child, a beautiful sky. I smile when I take a breath. I smile when I do an affirmation. Smiling has the wondrous ability to make everyone around you happy. There's something about a smile that is contagious. I love walking into a grocery store and smiling at everyone I meet. Although now no one knows I'm smiling because I got a big old mask over my face wherever I go. I think I'm gonna get a mask with a big old smile so they know I'm smiling. Because smiling should be contagious. And if we do things that make other people smile, what makes you feel good? Who can't say that when you make another person smile, that makes them feel good? If I can make you smile in my speech and an activity, Mark makes us all smile. He told us about his ability to use different voices. He's had me cracking up with some of his voices at different times. So I smile whenever I can. And especially, I smile when I make everybody else feel good. Topic Master, thank you for letting me smile.
We love your smile.
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Jack. You've definitely made us all smile. So I've picked up my letter number 3. Let's see what I can find in this letter. I do a kick-ass job at. Let me repeat. I do a kick-ass job at. I would like to call upon Toastmaster Angel Lopez.
Yeah, baby. Woohoo!
Thank you, Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters, good evening. I do a kick-ass job at being me. I love it. I was taking a look at, or listening better to Ms. Green and Mr. Kessler, and I want to take a little bit out of both of them. And I do a kick-ass job doing this. I don't need affirmation, validation, or vindication when I say this. I did hear the dishwashing story, and I did hear the things that I'm not supposed to say from both parties. At one time, I went for a dishwashing job, and on the window it said, "We are hired." And when I went inside, they told me we need experience, and that really broke my heart, because how hard can it be to wash dishes? As education followed, and I understand the key to education, what I did is I got mine. And years passed when I got the privilege to work for the state as a part of administration for corrections. We had a party one time, and it was at the same restaurant where they said no to me. And I seen the same gentleman that said no to me. I really wanted to go to him and hug him and say thank you for not hiring me at the time, because I would have never got where I was at without him saying what he did say. Unfortunately, it's not a great story, but it's a story that I kicked ass at, and I'm still kicking ass. And I put my boots on every day, tie them up hard, and every day. And by the way, I got another job. I was going to Sarasota, but now I'm back at West Palm Beach. You know why? Because I kicked somebody's ass. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Angel. You're definitely kicking ass here tonight. So, time for letter number 4. Let's see what the letter says. When I look in the mirror, I see. When I look in the mirror, I see. I would like to call upon Toastmaster Natifa Ofori.
Yeah, baby. Woo woo! Woo! Unmute yourself, babe.
When I look in the mirror, I see someone beautiful looking back at me. I see someone courageous. I see someone who is, like I said before, overcoming limiting beliefs, because I struggle with that. I see someone who is trying. I see someone who is improving. I see someone who is trying to be the best mom, the best wife, the best teacher for my kids. I see someone who has a bright future. I see someone who one day will accomplish all the goals that I set for myself. Because I believe in saying affirmations in the morning, it gets me going, it gets me in a better place. It gets me in a place of serenity, of peace. So when I look in the mirror, I see someone who is trying. I see someone who one day will make it. Thank you, Toastmaster Sonia.
Thank you, Toastmaster Natifa. That was very powerful. Thank you for sharing that with us. Do we have time for another timer?
Yes, we do. I think we have time for 2 more, actually.
Oh, that's great. All right. So move on to my letter number 5. Let's see what it says. Toastmaster to me is. Toastmaster to me is. Please finish this thought. I would like to call upon Toastmaster Tim Morrell.
You woo woo! Woo! Unmute.
All right, I'm unmuted. I'm unmuted, and I could not understand for the life of me what that topic was.
Oh, the topic is, as I'm reading a letter, I see a sentence that says,
right.
Toastmaster to me is. So what does Toastmaster mean to you? What it means to you? Any changes that has made?
Got it. All right. Okay, thanks. So this Zoom thing, the internet connection's been hard. All right, so what does Toastmasters mean to me? Wow, it means a lot. It's something that over the last, I don't even want to tell you how many years, since let's just say this, let you do the math. Since why am I looking at Angel's screen all of a sudden? Angel, what are you doing?
I don't know.
Anyway, since 1989, I have been a Toastmaster. And so that is quite a while. And it's meant so much to me because if I were a carpenter, what do I work with? Hammer, nails. If I were a football player, what would I be doing? Blocking and tackling drills, things like that, running routes, practicing. As it is, a paid professional speaker because I'm an attorney and I'm a trial attorney, so I'm in court a good bit. Not so much now. Now it's been with this Zoom. But thank God for this because, nobody in the law profession has given me any tutorials on this. Where did I learn how to do this at all? How to function with this? Well, from our past president, Stacy. She was the one who introduced me to this. So it's outstanding learning experience. But it's always been about, for me, being able to get to practice what I do on a weekly basis, working on speeches and getting feedback from normal, regular people, not lawyers. Drive me crazy hearing their commentary all the time. So it's just kept me focused, kept me grounded, always got good feedback in a positive way, not somebody trying to tear you down or whatever. It's everyone here is always trying to build you back up. So it's the camaraderie, it's the practice, it's of course the business networking, you can't forget about that. But overall, it's been the spirit. And when I was area governor, this was I created this Wellington Club. And it's just stuck with my heart since we started. It's been almost 20 now, since I think it was 2002 we started this club. So to me, it's just been a remarkable growth and friendship and ability to learn every single day and be a better person. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tim. I'm sure we all can relate to that. So time for the last topic for tonight, my last letter. So tonight we have looked at all these letters, and this is the last letter in my hand. How would you like to end this letter? If there were a few words or few sentences you can write on this letter, what would that be? I would like to call upon our guest speaker, James Storms, Toastmaster James Storms.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. What would I like to add to this letter? Well, there's been some really great table topics tonight, and it's been a pleasure to meet this group. And one of the things I think that stood out to me is how we are all stronger together. And I know that's maybe a little cliche, you've been hearing that a little bit with the things going on, but it's true. And I have to say, friends like Tim Morrell, when I started Toastmasters, I remember going to my first Toastmasters meeting and seeing Tim and seeing how awesome he was. And I remember meeting Stacy at one of our club meetings and how vibrant she was and how she brought energy to everybody. And I think that I would just like to say as an affirmation to this meeting and to you inviting me to come here, that it's great to see other clubs that are all special in their unique way. And it really makes me realize how special everybody is and how unique everybody is. Everybody has a gift. They just have to find their voice. They have to find how special they are. And I really feel, as Tim said, how Toastmasters perpetuates that thing. It makes you feel good about yourself. It's a nurturing environment, and I can't say enough about Toastmasters and this group and people in general. And just remember that you are all special in your own way, and get over the fear of feeling less than, because you are enough. And continue to come to Toastmasters and you will find your voice. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster James. If a stranger were to find this letter, this person would be looking for, what is this Toastmaster? I want to join, right? After reading all of this good stuff. So are we taking voting now for table topics? Gary?
Shay,
So the polls are ready.
you want to make me a co-host quickly to launch?
Oh, yes.
Did I ask, who do we send our votes to?
So there's a poll that comes through and each person individually gets, it's going to pop up on your screen.
Okay.
It's ready, Gary, you're co-host.
give it another 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Okay, thank you, Gary. So we did wrap that up. Okay. Now I'd like to move on to the evaluation portion of our meeting and call on our general evaluator, the lovely Sobia Zahid.
Thank you, Mr. Shea. Before we move forward, timer, can you please demonstrate the timing signals for our evaluators?
Certainly. I will show the green at 2 minutes, the yellow at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and the red at 3 minutes. At 3 minutes and 30 seconds, I'll clap off the evaluator. Thank you.
So evaluating Toastmasters, Mark Kessler, please welcome Toastmaster Brandon McCauley.
Thank you, Toastmaster Zahid. Toastmaster Kessler, it is a complete privilege to meet you, and this being the first time since I told Stacy I was honored to meet you, I did not expect it to come across as actually evaluating you on your speech, so this is a very interesting way to officially meet you for the first time. That being given, I want to give you a huge round of applause because as a Toastmaster, we all know that the icebreaker can be one of the most nerve-wracking, challenging, and oh my God, what do I do speeches that you have during your entire presentation. Sometimes the heart's going, sometimes the hands flutter, sometimes you don't know what to say, but I will say you did a phenomenal job. Right off the bat, I'd say that your speed and your pace was fantastic. Also, the fact that you stood up a lot of times, especially in a Zoom meeting, it can be very easy to sit down. So you stood back from the camera, we were able to see you clearly. And you also used fantastic hand gestures. So you seemed calm, it seemed natural. Also a very minimal use of pause words. I believe I only heard the word maybe once or twice. From the beginning, you did set us up once you got about a minute in with the expectations, which was fantastic because as a speaker, it's always tell them what you're going to say and then tell them and then kind of recap. And you did that. So you had taken us from, during your speech, it was from your childhood, then to your teenage, and then to your adulthood, which was really easy to kind of follow along with that transition, which is really enjoyable as a reader, as a listener, because I can see as you make that transition along your story, it's much easier to follow along with what you're speaking about, and I can relate to you on a much deeper level. Also, excellent job on the word of the day. Talked about using positive affirmations. And I will say just your story as a whole, we certainly got to know your humorous side, which I think was fantastic. Definitely didn't let me down. Stacy said that you were a very energetic, funny, happy, go-loving kind of guy, and you certainly showed that in your speech tonight. Consider for the next time giving us maybe a call to action about actually how to implement laughter into our lives and how we can expect to use it to boost all areas. So if you would have said, try a little laughter in your life this week, and then maybe give us 1 or 2 suggestions, I think that would have tied us in a little bit deeper with your speech for tonight. Also, be careful of your timing requirements. I know it can be challenging, especially the first time as an icebreaker, but it's something you just want to be a little more cautious of because I believe you went a little past your time. Overall, excellent, excellent, excellent job for your first speech. You gave great eye contact. You spoke very clearly, great projection. I'm certainly looking forward to, as well as the rest of the group, to your next speech in this club. Madam Toastmaster.
Great job, Brendan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Brandon. Now for evaluating Toastmaster Ion Green, please welcome Toastmaster Summer Matthews.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sobia. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests, and especially Keon Green. Trying to get better every day. What a great affirmation. You are for sure doing that and inspiring each one of us to do that as well. Right out of the gate, I loved your volume and enthusiasm. I could hear you very clearly. You talked about 2 stories that were growth opportunities for you. It was great to see your vulnerability, to share the times that were hard, that you turned it around and you became a Toastmaster and now dignitary that you are today. We can relate to the first story with table topics, or perhaps a time where we froze. And to be put on the spot, how are you going to convince your supervisor to pay people to train people like you? That's a hard thing to even respond to. But I know with table topics, we all are able to practice things like that. I also wanted to go into how you were able to bring it back to Toastmasters and everybody could relate to that. And that's what brought you to Toastmasters. Then you shared a story that hurt you, but was also a defining moment, and you called it a blessing in disguise. We can all relate to a time that we thought we did really well, and then it didn't turn out so well. You even used the word affirmation during that moving story. It hurts when you receive a bad evaluation, especially when you're told that you're rude and offensive, and that was not your intention at all. Well, let me tell you, today you're getting a great and excellent evaluation from me today. Continue to show us how you get better every day to inspire us. Thank you so much. Thank you, General Evaluator.
Woo, great job, Summer. Awesome.
Thank you, Toastmaster Summer Matthew. Now, timer, please, may I have the speak evaluation timers report?
Yes, both of our evaluators were within time. Thank you.
Now, may I please have a grammarian report?
Thank you, General Evaluator. The word of the day was correctly used 10 times today. So I think we did a great job of using that as a club. Thank you to everyone for listening and using the word of the day. Some errors in grammar that I would like to discuss and bring to everyone's attention. The one sentence was going home, flight to West Palm Beach. Maybe, I think we just missed the words going home on a flight to West Palm Beach. The word extemporaneous was pronounced exporaneous. So that's just something to be aware of. Then I seen the same gentleman, I saw the same gentleman, and that being given could perhaps have been that being said. Just a suggestion. There were a lot of examples of eloquence during the meeting this evening. I think we are all stronger together. Just a few. Saying affirmations in the morning gets me going. I smile whenever I can. That moment which still hurts me so much has turned into a blessing in disguise. Thank you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gary. May I please have the icons report at this time?
Yes, thank you, General Evaluator. Our favorite word used this evening was the word so. That was used 18 times in the club inappropriately. The second word that we used was That I counted 6 times used. Overall, we did quite well as a group this evening. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 18 of us, and that's pretty low numbers for utilizing a filler word. We had many that did not use filler words, such as Tim Morrell, Gary Newper, Keon Green, Sonia Garate, Natifa, James, Connie, Jack. Excellent job this evening. I am complete with this report. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Stacy Kessler. So now my evaluation report. Our meeting started at 6:56. That was 1 minute late, which is okay because we understand our awesome Toastmaster trying to do a couple of roles. All guests were welcomed very warmly. It was an amazing meeting. We get to meet so many new guests and then so many old Toastmasters we haven't seen for a long time. So welcome back, all Toastmasters. Our dignitary was welcome. I am not sure if I missed that part, but Ion is always in our meetings, so we always have to welcome our dignitary. And then I'm not sure, maybe Gary can help us with that. We cannot see the emoji for clapping or applause, but still we all did an awesome job for applauding for all of the Toastmasters. All the meeting rules were explained very thoroughly in the beginning of the meeting. Transitions between formal speeches were very smooth. And after both speeches, Toastmaster Shay commented on both the speeches, highlighting some of the points, so that shows that she was listening attentively. Now the meeting will end on time. It looks like yes. Now let's review the topic masters, table topics. The theme was reflected in the table topics, and Toastmaster Susanna did a wonderful job, as always. The statements were very simple and clear, and she repeated them twice, and she called on the Toastmaster's name. All the members were called in appropriate order. The people who did not have the major roles were called upon first. And in terms of impromptu speaking, all guests did an amazing job today. All the table topic speakers are awesome. What was unique in the meeting, I must acknowledge that our remarkable Toastmaster Stacy Kessler, she's always unique. The way she did the invocation today involving everybody, I really liked it. And I'm sure you all agree with me with this. As far as our evaluators are concerned, both Brendan and Summer are phenomenal Toastmasters. They both did an exceptional job evaluating our Toastmasters. They both used Oreo cookie method, provided speakers with valuable feedback, highlighting what was good in their speech with positive notes and suggesting a point at the end. So awesome job, both Brendan and Summer. And I must say that I will conclude my report with this affirmation, that the word use, affirmation, if I'm not pronouncing it right, was used several times. And it was one of those rare meetings when we use word of the day quite a few times. And grammarian can correct me if I did not use it the right way, so I know. Thank you, Toastmaster Shay. Now over to you.
Awesome. Great job, Sophia. Woo woo!
Thank you, Toastmaster Sylvia. What a thorough and elevating evaluation. Way to affirm the entire club. I would like a brief timers report for our evaluations. I don't remember if that was done.
It was, but I'd love to give it to you again, Shane. Both of our evaluations were within time.
Okay. All right. So the polls are ready, Gary, and we can go ahead and launch those.
What happened to my poll? It disappeared and it disappeared.
You can message me privately if you want to, if your poll didn't go. We've got 5 seconds left. Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Okay, thank you. So we come to our awards part of the ceremony where we get to acknowledge our best table topics, best speech, acknowledge our icebreaker for today, and our formal speech. Gary, would you like to go ahead and announce our winners for today?
I sure can. As you would have noticed, we didn't have a vote for first place speaker this evening. So we had one icebreaker and one speech. So our first place table topics speaker for this evening goes to, big round of applause, Toastmaster Latifa. And our first place evaluator for the evening goes to, big round of applause for Toastmaster Brendan. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Gary. And thank you for all of you today. Today was such a wonderful meeting, and it always is, but I just want to specifically thank you for today. And thank you all for our guests and our attendees. In closing, let's put our hands together. Oh, one more time for it. It's on the script for our Toastmaster of the Day. Sorry, I'm both the interim. So again, I'd like to acknowledge our dignitary, Hyun Green. Thank you for your attendance, and our guest, James Janera. Jahar. I'm sorry. I just keep Janera. So I did get it right. Janera, Rebecca, and Donna. I'd like to ask you to share with us something that impacted you today. Maybe a word of what impacted you the most today. Starting with Donna.
I don't have a word. I'm sorry.
Speechless. That's it.
Yeah, Donna and I have worked together. When I saw her, I'm like, Donna, is that you? So welcome, Donna.
Awesome.
That was a surprise.
Next, Janera. Janera.
It was very awesome, and I liked how you all had turns having, and it was very fun having.
So I like how you all have turns talking.
Okay.
I like being here today.
Well, thank you for staying with us from start to finish. And you were so engaged. So we appreciate you, Janera. James?
If I had to say, I would say warm and welcoming and excellent club. I learned a few things. You guys have your stuff together on Zoom, and I hope to take that back to our club. And I welcome you to join us any Wednesdays at 7 p.m., 7 to 8 on Zoom.
Thank you. And then share the name of your club again for us.
It's Toastmasters Club at Palm Beach State College.
Thank you. Oh, Rebecca. Yes, Rebecca, please share with us.
Sorry, he said, I'm sorry, what time was it again? Wednesday?
Every Wednesday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
Right. And Rebecca, please share with us something.
I'm so happy that I am back. I see new faces and older faces. Yes, I see that everybody's a very fluent speaker. That's what I want to learn, and I'm very impressed. And everybody's excellent members. Yes,
Thank
I want to keep coming and be with you guys.
Okay.
Yes,
Well, we look forward to it.
Yeah, thank you.
So in closing, In closing, I just want to thank you again for such an awesome meeting. I wish you guys well this evening as you're resting in the affirmations that we gave one another and each other as a club. Don't forget that moment, these moments. Have a good night, everyone.
Do we have Toastmaster and speakers next week?
Oh, so I'm Toastmaster of the Day again next week. And then we do need speakers for next week. Thank you so much, Hyun. So who'd like to volunteer? I have someone in mind, but I'm not going to call them out.
I would like to volunteer, but I have, but you know, like usually once you are a topic master, you do that the next week. I have to talk with Micheline. I know she was looking to do tonight if she was here.
Okay. Okay.
I've already signed up for next week.
Okay. Woo, 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 woo.
Woo, Latifah, woo!
I know.
Okay, and then some of our evaluator roles that are filled, are we able to keep those roles for next week? Summer, possibly Brendan, are you able to be an evaluator again?
I was thinking about speaking, but I'm not 100% sure. So I haven't decided yet. So I will try, unless if all the speaker roles are taken, I will volunteer for a speaker role.
Even better, even better. So
Yeah,
I'm
take a speaker role. That's okay.
A speaking role. Yes, awesome, Brendan. Awesome. So I asked you guys to pay attention to the agenda and go ahead and sign up before Wednesday. If you can go ahead and commit tonight, that's even better.
Doesn't matter here.
To support the flow of our meeting. Okay. Well, thank you all for coming tonight, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you next week. If our officers can remain behind, just to touch base really quickly.
Bye, everybody.
All right. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hello, guys. So I just was updating you with Zoom. So the customer service right now. Oh, we have another guest, another little face. Hello.
Short visit.
Yeah, short visit. Okay, so with Zoom, right now, customer service is only available to business accounts. So I have to email them directly tonight, and I look to hear back from them within the week because they are on top of customer service. And I want to go ahead and send out the new link within this week, but I need to first figure out why the charge is not going through. So between Jack and I did call, but right now they direct you to automation based off of what kind of account that you have. So I just wanted to update you in that.
Did you guys hear the bell tonight?
No, once.
Did you just hear it the whole time of the meeting? Did you by chance hear it just now?
One time.
Yes. So it's not working when people are speaking. That's what it is.
How does this work with the bell? You hear that?
Does, yes, and people heard this too, but when people are
I
speaking.
didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. Nothing.
I did that a couple times, but I agree, Stacy. For some reason, once someone's speaking, I stopped hearing it.
It blocks it out because even the regular bell, like this I rang just like this, and you still weren't hearing it.
You hear this?
So that's interesting. So it blocks out having multiple speakers speak at the same time, but I hear that we speak at the same time when we do the pledge. So that's what's a bit confusing.
No, I don't understand it myself.
Okay.
That's one thing that we've been perplexed with for 8 months. It's so interesting.
Because for some reason, Melinda's, he's been able to, his bell works and it's an external bell outside of his computer. So I don't know what he's doing to make the sound carry through, but it's been working through in the meetings. Like there was 2 consecutive meetings where it worked.
I even waited for people to stop talking so that I could ring this in between the talk. You know, I was kind of timing it out. So we get to definitely figure out something, and maybe whatever Ray's doing, we could duplicate. Is he doing the sound on his phone?
I'm not really sure. I don't remember like where the sound is coming from, but it came through.
All right.
Can I do it?
We can hear it, but if we're all talking, let's practice that while we're all talking and see if that works. So when I'm talking right now, yeah.
I heard it.
Yeah, I heard it too.
I'm just using a glass and a spoon. It's pretty loud.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Okay.
That's the last glass that company has of that kind, so we don't use that glass, please. Use another one. We just lost a shelf full of those.
The other one has one left.
I know. We just lost a shelf full.
Also, I just wanted to bring up, because I mentioned to Shastri too, about looking at a date for us to transition back to a physical location. Because at this point, a lot of things are starting to open back up. I don't know how the rest of the members feel about that, but you know, this is going to be a new way of life, you know, adopting precautions and navigating, but some of our members, you know, would like to meet back in person. So the consensus, I'm not sure if it's 50-50 or 60-40 but just putting that on the table.
A few weeks ago, I might have said yes, but with the virus level being so high in Palm Beach County, I don't think we can talk about it yet.
I'm also on the same page with Jack. I'm not sending my kids to school in the next couple of weeks, and I don't think I'd feel comfortable showing up at the meeting.
Okay.
And I, for myself, am probably going to stay home. Even when we do bring the meetings back, I will be utilizing the platform here as opposed to coming into the meeting, period.
Okay. Okay, well, those are the two things. I didn't want to keep you long since the majority of our team is not here. But have a good night, guys.
I wanted to just apologize. I know that I didn't get the meeting minutes out. So the only other thing that we had on the minutes, which are in a draft right now, was the recognition board pieces. And I guess we had finalized 4 categories. But the piece that I wasn't sure about was how often. So that I think is still on the table for discussion for next week. If we could think about that and finally make a decision.
Yeah, I mean, because what I'll do is email you back, because it sounded like some of it we were going to test run it being automated through the way that you progress through pathways.
Mm-hmm.
So some of them were going to be recognized as they roll through the levels. And then some of the, like, I think at least 2 of them were going to be something that we acknowledged within a certain time frame. And I think we're going to play with either quarterly and then see how that works for the club.
Okay.
I think that was my understanding, because we all had different ideas, but we want to just see what works best. And it sounded like quarterly is where we ended up.
That's what I thought too.
Okay, so I'll put that in the notes and send that out. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, and one other thing I wanted to say, we have a broken link on some of our scripts. So for example, timer script didn't work today, and I tried to add it. Which agenda are we using? Because I saw that we have multiple agendas, and there's one that's called Zoom agenda, which I corrected, but it still didn't fix my link. So are we not using the Zoom agenda?
Okay, so Micheline has been the one teaming up, because I'm still unfamiliar with how to update it.
Okay.
So between Micheline and Henry, so Henry has been trying to fix the broken link issue.
Okay. I can fix those as long as I know which agenda I'm working on. And we have about 20 or 22. So I was trying to find it by just opening it up. And I couldn't seem to find the one, even though we have one that says Zoom, that wasn't fixing the problem.
Okay.
So I can fix that if I just speak with Henry, then I can adjust that.
Okay, so that's great. And Henry's been updating our Instagram. I forgot to plug that in the meeting. So we want to plug that a little bit more because it's just fun. Social media engagement is something new because he just posted a clip of Hyun's speech, like a full speech. So I think that's going to be a new interesting way that we engage, like having clips on Instagram. So
yes. And we did so great with our 2 guests tonight. So I got the contact information for Donna. I didn't get for James because it seems like James is not really planning to join us. He just came to visit.
No, so James is the president at Palm Beach State Toastmasters.
Yeah, he was only visiting.
Yeah, so he's only visiting. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Rebecca Jin, I didn't get her contact information, but if she got a link when she registered, then we'll have her email address, which I can then put into the minutes and make sure and share with Micheline. But how do I access that if she registered? Who does that go to?
If she registered, that's still going to be attached to Stacy's account.
Okay.
So that's 2 things that once we get this like Zoom account up and running, I'm going to have to work with Gary to establish a new registration attached to our new account.
Okay.
And then we'll have to update our website page.
And I feel like I've seen Rebecca before. Was she really here for the first time tonight?
So no, she was considering joining, or she had joined, right? Because Henry was her mentor for a little while.
Yeah, I'd say she was a member when we were at Office Depot.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, so we might have her contact information in the file behind the scenes then. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. And then I got a message from Micheline about Anna Goldberg, who wanted to join our meeting. I sent her an email tonight, but with our link, but she didn't jump on. So she's another one who might be interested.
Okay.
But that's it. All right.
Say goodbye, Stacy.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye, everyone.
Mwah.
You wanna say hi?
No, he's not. Okay.
Good night.